PNC News First is presented by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank. Pizza Hut, we're taking pizza to where it's never been before. Taco Bell, the only place where you live Moss. IT&D, explore your world. Guam Cleaning Masters, keeping Guam clean. Shibby Wholesale, home of Vinda and Unilever products. Haagen-Dazs, distributed exclusively by quality distributors.
PNC News First, broadcasting live in high definition from Tumon, Guam, on KEQI and KTGM, and on KPPI on Saipan. Here is your PNC News team.
Half a day, you're watching PNC's News First. We're live from our broadcast center in Akanta, Guahusi Pali Suba. Thanks for tuning in. Topping our newscast tonight, the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority wants to work with more landlords to help house the island's Section 8 qualified residents. Here's Julian Hernandez with more.
Earlier today, the Lieutenant Governor's Task Force on Homelessness had a virtual meeting to give current updates on tackling this ongoing issue. According to GURA Executive Director Ray Topasna, GURA will be receiving 87 emergency housing Section 8 vouchers, totaling about $1.2 million.
The 87 vouchers is on top of the 2,581 vouchers we currently are authorized. So, collectively, we provide a home to about 4,880 families and individuals. Anytime we get word of additional vouchers, it's just a plus for Guam. We're hoping there'll be more vouchers, but again, it boils down to whether some of our, and this is the challenge we faced in the past, is really whether landlords want to contract with GURA for Section 8.
Additionally, Topasna wants to get the word out to landlords that GURA has always been reliable in housing payments since the beginning of the pandemic.
And a lot of landlords weren't getting paid because many individuals may have lost their jobs or had a reduction in hours. But if a landlord contracted with GURA, you were certainly going to get paid on time. And so that's something we want to promote out there. And with the 87 vouchers, we hope we'll get landlords to consider working with GURA and working with the Guam Homeless Coalition.
Topasna says they will continue to work with the Guam Homeless Coalition to administer the program. UOG Dean School of Nursing Dr. Margaret Hattori-Yachima adds that GURA is working on the MOU between GURA and the Guam Homeless Coalition. With GURA lead coordinator Amor Say, they have set up an ad hoc committee to work on the process of determining the distribution of the emergency housing voucher program. Julianne Hernandez, PNC News First.
Bueta Electric is looking to introduce a rental scooter system for the people of Guam. PNC's Don Sulat has more.
At the Mayor's Council monthly meeting yesterday, June 2nd, John Ananich, co-founder of Bueta Electric, a company that currently sells electric scooters, proposed a rental system for the island.
Basically, what we're doing is we're trying to get the technology because we is still very behind. Because right here, what electric scooter is electric is vehicle. This is a decade Asia and Europe and transportation that almost 50% of their community is using.
When asked why they decided to introduce the rental system, Bueta Electric co-founder Nathan Agri had this to say.
And so we currently offer a line of scooters. We use that, I personally use that for my main transportation. And so we found that it's a very user-friendly, eco-friendly, smart solution to provide micromobility. And so we sell that. And not everyone is going to look at purchasing a scooter for their personal use, but they can still benefit from the the positives that scooters and micromobility in general provide. Really good energy ratio, weight to energy, right? Transportation for the first and last half of the mile. It just made sense to try to expand that to as many people as possible. And the best way to do that would be through a rental platform. And we're looking at distributing those in key centers of the island, and also working with island leaders. That's why we went to the Mayor's Council yesterday to work with, see if we could work with leaders of the community and see where it would most benefit the community to put distribution centers or concentrations of our upcoming rental platform.
Agri stated that they hope to launch the program in the upcoming months or around Liberation Day, and that currently the scooters are not sanctioned for road use but are able to be used on Guam sidewalks. When asked for additional comments, Agri had this to say.
Really, now is the time for the island to be thinking about the environment and be thinking about how to be green. And so we want to encourage everyone to do that and be thinking about, just have that in your daily life and be thinking about that and be green.
More updates to come. Don Sula, PNC News First.
Director for the Department of Administration, Edward Burns, sheds light on the missing EIP and tax refund checks. As the PUA end date draws near, some citizens of Guam are still waiting on their EIP, or more commonly known as stimulus checks and tax refunds. Reports of people not receiving their stimulus or tax refund checks are circulating. Burns said that this is a common problem for individuals who opted to receive paper checks rather than direct deposit. As of this moment, there are around 3,000 tax refund checks ready. Individuals who did not receive their stimulus or tax refund checks are encouraged to check their last mailing address or to check revenue tax to ensure that their file went through. Director Byrne had this to say.
Generally, it's because checks don't get delivered to the address that the taxpayer puts on their tax return. There may be reasons for that. They may have moved. It may be many taxpayers have a communal mailbox, so the mail gets lost. It may just be that it gets misdelivered.
Burns said people can pick up their stimulus checks at the ITC building. You can see the list of unclaimed checks on the DOA website. The Department of Administration made its pitch before the legislature to be fully funded. PNC's Wayne Chargloff has more.
Yesterday, the Department of Administration Director Edward Byrne listed the department's accomplishments as well as its future projects. Byrne also discussed the need for the department to update its financial management system.
As has been noted by both our independent auditors and the public auditor, many findings or deficiencies that were reported can be directly attributed to our legacy system. There is no need or usefulness in explaining why we've been able to update it. Lack of funding prevented investment. Technology has changed the way we all interact over the last 20 years. There are so many aspects of our lives which we conduct differently because of new technology. GovGuam is no different.
Byrne pointed out that DOA's budget had been reduced, which negatively affected its ability to do its job.
Last year's budget law for this year's budget reduced DOA's budget request by just under 10%. This impacted our ability to recruit needed middle management staff, mainly deputies for division heads.
In a presentation, the department also asked to fund 7 positions: Assistant Personnel Services Administrator, Chief Financial Officer, Assistant Chief Procurement Officer, and 4 buyers. Altogether, the positions would cost more than $321,000 in annual salaries, but the department warned that the result of not filling those positions would be increased deficiencies.
We are asking that the deputies noted above are funded, that we have enough funding to improve procurement, not only at GSA, but throughout the whole procurement cycle, from requisition to PO to receipt to payment. We are also asking for a contact for shredding records already identified as eligible for disposal, and we're asking that that be funded. These requests are not frivolous. They're designed to respond to agency, auditor, or DOA identified needs, and we ask that you include these this year, especially those which exceed the Governor's executive budget for DOA, which was forwarded to you.
Wayne Chargaloff, PNC News First.
GPD's summer youth program has been temporarily suspended after a participant tests positive for COVID-19. A Project U youth participant had tested positive for COVID-19 on Tuesday, according to a report from GPD. The youth participant was transported to GMH after sustaining an injury while playing. Upon arrival at GMH, the youth participant was tested for COVID-19, which yielded positive results. GPD has temporarily suspended the youth summer program and are working closely with public health, the youth participants and their families, and Project U's Safe School partners. Project U is a month-long youth summer program for 14 to 17-year-olds where participants are engaged in various activities with GPD, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies. The program was launched in May. The Archdiocese of Agana is working closely with public health on contact tracing after two Catholic schools each reported one positive case of COVID-19 on Wednesday. St. Anthony reported that one member of its school community tested positive for the virus. The regular school year already ended for St. Anthony on May 21st. However, because St. Anthony has begun summer school out of an abundance of caution, it will revert to full remote learning for its summer classes for the rest of the week. Academy of Our Lady also had one member of its school community test positive for the virus on Wednesday. School administrators of both schools assure parents and guardians that they are following all the necessary steps to ensure the safety of the school community. According to the Archdiocese, principals are communicating with their respective school communities and will advise of any updates. Don't go away. After the break, we'll look at the stray animals, a new art exhibit, new programs at GCC, and more.